What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net. What's going on, everybody? We are live from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, and of course, when we are finished, it will be available at Spreaker.com, iTunes, and all the other places you can find your favorite podcasts and internet radio shows. It's Corner to Corner time. I am Stan Grubb, joined as always by my tag team partners. The triple threat is in tonight. Rob Hefner.
Well, hello there.
Hello, Rob, and welcome to the airwaves.
Yes, I'd like to talk to you about it. Sorry.
And no show is complete without the Doctor of Desire himself, Brian Taylor. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? What's up?
And, of course, we are joined by our famous, fabulous producer, the Magic City Motormouth himself, Fast Eddie Lane. What's up, Eddie?
Hashtag that producer guy. Hash browns for that producer guy.
Hey, smothered, covered, and something.
Scattered, covered, chunked, topped, diced, capped. That works.
Wow, what's capped mean? Is that mushrooms?
Yeah, it's mushrooms.
Huh. Well, learn something new every day. A little bit of Waffle House lingo for all of y'all.
I'm not
a mushroom type of fella, huh?
Give me the shrooms.
Whoa. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Stan just likes the tips.
Hey.
And then, of course, if you go to Colorado and California, you can also get them herbed as well. So,
yeah, we have got a hell of a show tonight. I'm excited. We've got the one and only Mike King, promoter, co-founder of Nova Pro Wrestling, will be joining us tonight to talk about the Commonwealth Cup. He'll be here with us in about 25 minutes or so. And we'll be talking to him about the 12-man tournament to crown the Commonwealth Cup champion. Should be pretty exciting. Looking forward to talking with him. Whew. As we came on the air, news broke just a little while ago. Ric Flair was kicked out of a bar, after insulting an employee at the establishment. Rob, what was the adjective you gave for Ric Flair?
What?
The 17-time...
He's a 17-time world getting your ass kicked out of a bar champion.
Rick, buddy, you got to slow down a little bit, man. Daggone.
He has a flair for the dramatic.
Well, let's not just pass judgment quite yet. A lot of fake news out there.
Not the hashtag fake news.
I mean, how many times is this stuff going on and then you find out, well, that's not quite the way it went down?
Hey, that's a fair statement. I mean, now, Flair is known for his party mentality, but it's true. It's damn true. These kind of things do happen, and it can be blown out of proportion. Could be that he just had an argument and the fan got mad, or the non-fan, I guess, got mad and decided to go public with it. You never know.
Because, there's not people out there that want their 15 minutes of fame,
What?
At the hands of somebody else, It wouldn't be like, as much as we like Randy Orton, the guy, asking for an autograph while he's working out,
Oh, right. Or maybe even a former co-host of mine. I mean, you never know. People just like their 15 minutes of fame.
You must miss him because you keep bringing him up.
I mean, I don't know if I miss him per se. I've got a lot of problems.
I mean, you're the one that talks about it. So,
wow.
okay, folks, for the next For the next 10 minutes, let Stan get all his feelings out about his co-host.
No.
So, Stan, where...
knowing stuff. I will say this. It is good to see Mauro Ranallo back on Twitter. But since Rob's going to give me a moment to get something off my chest, I think now would be an appropriate time since we are at the beginning of our show. News has been going on all week long about Mauro Ranallo apparently being done with WWE. Now, his contract is not officially expired until August, but the story goes as is that he will not be returning. Mauro is openly and honest about being a... how do you word this appropriately? Diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Fighting that disorder at every twist and turn. His most recent absence from WWE television stemmed from an incident, apparently, that happened between he and JBL. Now, we've talked about JBL shortly last week during our WrestleMania commentary, but a little bit before that as well. Here's the thing. I don't know JBL personally, and I don't know the man to be anything but a bully. Everything I've read about this guy, and from multiple sources, indicates that the only thing he wants to do is make people get in the hard way. In other words, pay their dues per his commentary and earn their way through the industry. However, in 2017, I'd like to believe that we've gotten past the whole days of hazing and bullying and all that. Now, it's not saying that a rib or a joke is a bad thing. I think you have to have a good sense of humor, and you do have to have a degree of thick skin in an industry like professional wrestling, but there's a line. There's definitely a line, especially with a guy like Mauro Ranallo, who has an admitted condition that he's not afraid to talk about, not afraid to be honest about it. And when you're a guy like JBL, to me, the moment he finds out that Ranallo is openly battling this disease, it's basically a target on his back, and he goes in for the kill. The only problem with that is we're talking about real people here, real human beings and feelings and emotions. And not to get too Dr. Phil in here, but it really sucks that one of the best commentators to come across WWE in quite some time is basically on the outside looking in because of a jackass known as John Bradshaw Layfield. I know we've talked about it a few times, guys, but it's infuriating to me to see these stories continue to come out.
Well, JBL's a jackass, and how hypocritical is it of the WWE to have such a strong stance against bullying? And here it is, a known bullier. Personally, he should go on and hire Joey Styles and let Joey Styles just smack the shit out of JBL again. Didn't that come out just in some guy's book just recently?
Well, Justin Roberts released his book just recently, and in the process of going through the different stories about JBL harassing Justin Roberts, stealing his passport, things like that, which he apparently denied. As these stories come out, of course, this story that is very well known at this point is Joey Styles decking John Bradshaw Layfield at an Iraq event for their tribute to the troops. By the way, when he decks him, he did drop him with one shot, which is pretty funny to me. Joey Styles, if ECW Joey Styles was this little skinny twig of a guy, just the thought of him dropping JBL like a hot rock is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, typical bully, though. Pick on the little guy who can't defend himself, but when he runs across one to Ken, he gets bitch slapped. Yeah, you're a real man, JBL.
And then he gets people fired because, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Very hypocritical too, WWE. Fantastic.
Well, it gets deeper than that. Jonathan Coachman has stated that he will no longer be covering WWE for ESPN, and had an exchange with one of our favorite news reporters, who I will not name, basically stating that the WWE is still going to be covered by ESPN, but he's not going to be doing that type of coverage anymore because he has other projects. Yeah, pretty convenient that all comes out at the same time.
Then why is that news? You know what I mean? Like, who gives a crap about Jonathan Coachman?
I know what.
I think the whole ball of wax that's going around now, he probably has a few stories of his own and just decided he'd been fed up with it too.
And I think... I'm sorry, Rob, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I don't know. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought you were serious. I'm sorry.
No, I was, and then I started talking. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think, it's important to point out, like, you hear the guys and I, we joke back and forth all the time. They give me hell and vice versa, and we take it on good fun. But the difference here is the three of us have been best friends for longer than we can count. And also, we all know each other's limits. We all know that there is a certain point, and now, of course, if we know a button to push, I'm not saying we won't push it, but truth of the matter is we do all know and respect the boundaries that we have, and none of us are truthfully trying to go out there and attack something that's a real true hot button for somebody. For example, Rob losing his hair, or Brian being an angry old man, or me being fat and bald. It's there's these things that happen through life, but we do give each other a hard time. So it's not to say that we don't joke with each other, pick on each other, whatever you want to say.
You notice he didn't give us any time to come back on that.
Oh, that's fine. I know more than the hot. I'm a fat bald guy button to push for him.
It's not like you don't have another hour and 45 minutes to chime in, fellas. It's not like it doesn't happen on the air every week. I mean, really?
I figured the buttons to push on you a long time ago. It's just no fun to push them all the time.
It's all about timing, I guess, huh?
Yeah. There are some moments you just want to push buttons. And some moments you dig your own hole and I don't have to push buttons.
All I'm pointing out is the obvious, I think the difference between what we do here on the air and joking back and forth and throwing it at each other is different than what we hear about as far as a known bipolar disorder bipolar patient that's dealing with this openly, honestly, admitting it the entire time to be victimized basically in those types of situations.
Here's what he does, though. If I'm him, here's what I do. It's a known fact New Japan Pro Wrestling is trying to make a foothold in the States. It's a known fact New Japan Pro Wrestling has said they're going to start a Fed on the West Coast and try and make inroads. Guess what, New Japan Pro Wrestling? I think you now have your first announcer. It don't get no better than that guy right now. He'd be one hell of an addition, especially since JR has returned to the WWE.
And let's not forget that Mauro was doing color commentary with Josh Barnett when they first debuted on Access.
Yep. So, I'm sure they got each other's number, and I'd put him. He'd be the face of TV for New Japan in America. So, and then the WWE can eat it.
They're going to end up paying a price, and if I was Mauro Ranallo, I'd have an attorney, and I would be, I'd be making sure that WWE knows that he is not happy about the situation.
Oh, they'd pay out. They'd pay out real quick.
You better believe they would. They'd want to shut him up too.
Again,
be a bully, be a star.
Yeah, there you go.
Be a bully, be a star. So
again,
Now, let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
Do you think Coachman's response, saying he's not going to cover WWE again, is that because people are picking on JBL, or is it because of he is been on the opposite end of JBL, and he's like, this is his chance to say WWE ain't taking it no more?
There's no doubt he's been on the opposite end of JBL. No doubt at all.
Yeah, I mean, JBL's been in WWE since about 94. Coachman was there long after that, so yeah, I mean, I'm sure that Coachman's had to deal with that for a lot of his career. Not to mention the fact that Coachman also dealt with DX at the time, where Shawn Michaels was definitely not known for his kindness towards others.
Okay, I was just wondering. But.
So let's switch gears, because somebody we know was in Baltimore, Maryland, just the other day for Ring of Honor. What I thought was, when you guys first brought it up, was just simply a house show. No, sir. Brian, tell the world about your Ring of Honor experience.
Well, what are you doing? We do have a guest coming on, and 5 hours of TV taping is going to take longer than 15 minutes, I think. We'll start, and I'll talk a little bit. This was a whim, we had talked about it in the past. Saturday, I just happened to look at Facebook, realized what day it was, convinced the wife, tried to get Rob on board. I knew you were working, Stan. So, needless to say, we rushed out the door. We got there about 20 minutes late. Long about the time the Kingdom came out. They fought coast to coast, I think it was. Didn't get to see much of it, because, again, we got there a little late, and it had already started. And then the first real drama of the day started. The wife and daughter sent me to go get drinks. Now, this is a classic bingo hall setting. This was actually an indoor arena league flag football team arena. And it may hold at capacity about 100 people. So it's a fairly small venue. Where you go get the drinks, there's a windows so you can look down into the arena where the ring was set up. And I got my back to the counter, ordering the drinks, and all of a sudden the crowd goes nuts. And I just put my head down because I know what just happened. The Bucks came out, and so I caught the tail end of their interview, and they see the problem is, Stan, there's five weeks of TV. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we can definitely go back to it. Don't you worry.
Well, no. But my problem is I don't want to give too many spoilers. But here's the first spoiler.
That's true.
And the Bucks were the second act. Mm-hmm. They didn't wrestle. It was just an interview. But second one in, we get the first big surprise of the day. So, God, again, we'll just say it was great. It was great fun. It reminded me of watching TV tapings from the NWA. However, we didn't figure out it was TV tapings till about 3.5 hours in.
3.5 hours in.
3.5 hours in. Yes.
You didn't just go, man, this is the longest house show I've ever been to? I mean,
no. Because, sometimes house shows can run a little long, The first time I heard...
Brian is texting us while he's there.
Yeah, well, the bad part is the first time I heard this is your TV main event, it should have dawned on me, Then I heard it a second time. It still didn't dawn on me. Took 3 of them. To be like,
wait a minute.
Oh, crap.
They said TV.
TV tape?
And the man coming out to give Brian a shave because he's been there for 3 days.
And then eventually you hear, we have 2 more television main events to go, and you're like, oh, crap. They average about, you're like, that's an average of 3 matches per episode for Ring of Honor. That's like 6 matches to go. Holy cow, we're going to be here forever. So, but it was fun, though. We'll discuss it a little bit more, and I'll try and figure out how to do it without spoilers. But I may just say, screw it, I'm going to spoil 5 weeks of Ring of Honor TV. But, just to get back at them for not telling me.
You hear that, Ring of Honor? Brian is extremely upset at you for not telling him this was a TV tape.
And you're so going to wish you'd have gotten him to sign a non-disclosure.
I will. All right, so here's a few things I can talk about that aren't spoilers, but I did get to meet Bobby Fish.
Nice.
He was kind enough to, and again, the venue, just based on the venue, the wrestlers came out of like a side door, and they had to use the bathroom where everybody else used the bathroom. So, I mean, it was no problem, to catch them up in the hallways. And, I've done this a couple of times, and I know if you wait around long enough, sometimes you can meet some people.
They'll come out of the bathroom.
Right. Yeah, well, so I called Bobby Fish getting a drink, and he was kind enough to take some photos for me and my daughter and a couple other fans. And, he was nice and polite and great guy, and I thank him for it, unlike Jay Lethal, Alex Shelley, and somebody else who just ran to their car and jumped in.
We don't want to talk to these people.
Yeah, we don't talk to nobody. We're out of here. Yeah. So tell you how bad it is. They jumped in the car and left the trunk up, right? And Jay's in the driver's seat, and me, my wife, and my daughter are walking by, and I said, "Hey, your trunk's up." And they're like, "It's okay," yelling at the car at us. And then my wife, as we walk by Jay's cracked window, says, "Hey, your trunk's up. You want me to shut it?" "No, it's okay. We got somebody coming." "Thank you, though." And, it's like that fast. Like, dude, it's okay. We're not going to, we're not going to jump you, It's all right, Jay.
Well, they do know they're in Baltimore, so.
Well, yeah, but it was just funny, because, it was like, match is over. You see Jay take off out the back, and, then Alex Shelley. Alex kind of, like, looks around like he realizes, oh, crap, the show's over now. Let me hurry up and get in the damn car. So Silas Young was out walking around, greeting people, meeting people. Didn't have a care in the world, so I applaud him for hanging out and meeting people. Cody signed autographs. Mandy Leon was signing autographs. The Bucks, Cole were signing autographs. Bubba Ray signed autographs at the end.
Nice.
So, because my daughter likes him, and he's not only her favorite wrestler now because of the wrestling, but because he pantsed Sal Volcano on Impractical Jokers, she had to get an autograph and a picture, so we obliged her and got her Bully Ray's autograph. But, trying to think what else. The Briscoes, they signed a few autographs for some people after the show. And again, they were just caught. They didn't, I don't think they were advertised as doing it. They were just walking around. So, but it was good fun. And again, we'll touch on some of the highlights here in a little bit.
Right.
I think we have a guest on if I read it right.
Yep,
on the line now.
We're going to be joined by the one and only Mike King, the promoter, co-founder of Nova Pro Wrestling, here in just a moment. We're going to take our first break of the evening here, but before we do, a very special moment, Brian, for one of us. I want to say a very happy anniversary to Rob and Mrs. Hefner as well. Happy anniversary, Rob. This is 11 years, right?
It is.
Wow.
11 years of happily ever after.
That is until she realizes that the weekend of her anniversary, you're on the air with us.
It's because the weekend of our anniversary, I've taken the kids to my parents' house, so she now has until Wednesday by herself.
Smartest move ever. Happy wife, happy life. Well, folks, we're going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we will be joined by none other than Mike King, the promoter, co-founder of Virginia Wrestling Nova Pro, talking about the Commonwealth Cup coming up. So stick with us right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. We will be right back in just a few minutes. What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Corner Wrestling Radio, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, and all points in between. Very excited right now. We are joined by a promoter, co-founder of Nova Pro Wrestling, based out of the Northern Virginia area, and this guy is going to talk to us about the Commonwealth Cup coming up this week. And this is a 12-man tournament to crown the Commonwealth Cup. Is that a Commonwealth Cup champion? Is that how we word that?
Yeah, I'd say the Commonwealth Cup champion, sure.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the one and only Mike King. Mike, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be on the show, guys.
We're excited to have you on here. I think Rob dropped off because he couldn't handle the excitement. I'm sure he'll be back on here in just a moment. So, Mike, let me ask you first and foremost, how did Nova Pro come about?
Nova Pro started as like a very pure, it came from a very pure place. For those of you that don't know, Nova Pro was founded by myself and my father. When I was a kid, there wasn't a lot of independent wrestling in Northern Virginia. If you know anything about the state or the area, there hasn't really been all that much independent wrestling in this area for a very long time. And to go see some wrestling when I was a kid, my dad used to take me, to Philadelphia, to New York, to the Midwest, to North Carolina, just all over the country, really, just to see some quality independent wrestling. And it got to a point when I got a little bit older and a little bit, more smartened up to the business, that I decided, me and my dad decided that, why don't we bring this thing we love, independent wrestling, to our hometown? And, we finally got it all together in September of 2015. We ran our very first show, and, 11 shows since. We're going strong, especially with this Friday night, the Commonwealth Cup.
You talk about a show that picked up steam in a very, very short amount of time. You had the attention of the entire East Coast, and I would say a lot of people on the West Coast as well. How does it feel to be in such a short amount of time so widely well known?
It's pretty great, and I think that's a true testament to the kind of formula we wanted Nova Pro to be. You look at a lot of independent wrestling cards, and you see kind of the same pool of guys on each show just kind of getting matched up. in different matches. Like you see matches that happen in New York City happen 3 nights later in Chicago, and you see, the same guys from Evolve and PWG and Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground all kind of like wrestle each other over and over and over again all over the independents. And I didn't want Nova Pro to be like that. I still wanted to, use and have some of the best wrestlers in the world in our locker room and stuff, but I wanted to also kind of give a spotlight to those lesser known guys, the kind of the future of independent wrestling, the guys from all up and down the East Coast and all over the country, really, to kind of have a place to showcase, not only the best in the world, but also, with the landscape of professional wrestling today, any of these guys that we call the best wrestler in the world can be picked up by the WWE or any top, promotion or top major, wrestling company at any given time. So you always got to create stars to fill those voids, and that's what I wanted Nova Pro to be, the place where you saw the guys before they got big, really.
Who was the first guy that you guys really got involved with that helped you get everything off the ground? I mean, I know that Sanjay Dutt plays a major role and has done excellent things with you guys. But, I mean, I've seen so many big-name talents and also, just like you said, up-and-comers that have come through the doors. Is there a guy that's just been pivotal in your success, you would think?
I think we gained a lot of attention when Cedric Alexander was wrestling for us last summer. Cedric Alexander debuted for us last May in a match with Bobby Shields. He had 3 matches with us, but around that time, let's see, his second match here was a week before the Cruiserweight Classic started, so everybody knew he was in the Cruiserweight Classic by then. And his third match with us, which ended up being his last match with us, was the Friday after the match with Kota Ibushi aired on the network. And after, Triple H came out and raised his hand and everything. And I think, the fans that came to see Cedric on those 3 shows, a lot of those fans stuck around because not only, they came to see Cedric, but they got something on the undercard that they kind of got attached to, whether it was like Logan Easton LaRoe pulling off a fan's prosthetic leg, or Cutie and the Beast and their antics, or, Money Green and his antics. It was just, something else kept their attention, and something else kept them coming back. And I think we owe a lot of our current success to those 3 shows that Cedric Alexander did with us last year.
Yeah, I mean, and for folks tuning in, Cedric Alexander is one of many that have come through the doors of Nova Pro. You've seen Veda Scott, Rachel Ellering. That was the show that we were present at. You've also seen the Brutes, from the one and only Mark James and Jimmy Parker. You've also seen, and I think our personal favorite tag team that we witnessed was the Sandwich Squad. Woo! I have never seen anything like that before. That was amazing.
Yeah. Funny story about the Sandwich Squad. That whole concept of them winning winning the matches to get sandwiches, kind of started on a fluke. Their first show was their first show with us was our 4th show or so, and it was at the JCC. And during their match, I'm talking to Brad Stutz, who kind of helps run the locker room with me and stuff. And at the concession stand, we had these meatball sandwiches at the time, and I think they'll be coming back for the JCC show this Friday. But at concession stand, we had the meatball sandwiches at the time, and we just thought, like, what a cool, funny gag that would be if we just rewarded the winners of the match with, some meatball sandwiches. And then that ended up being one of our biggest acts in the company. So.
Yeah, and they are ridiculously over with the fans. I have never seen anything like it. To see the tag team, 2 really big guys that are dominant in the ring, have a great presence about them, and then they celebrate. And when we were there, we saw they had celebratory hoagies right out there, and you'd have thought you had given them a brand new car or something, the way they reacted. It was tremendous.
Yeah, man. Some wrestlers wrestle for the money. Some wrestle for fame. Mecca and Aaron, they wrestle for sandwiches. So,
so let's dive right into it. This Friday night, doors open at 7:30, bell time 8 p.m. Friday, April 14th at the Jewish Community Center of Northern Virginia. This is at 8900 Little River Turnpike in Fairfax, Virginia. You've got 12 men entering for the Commonwealth Cup. Now, if I'm understanding this correctly, this is a tournament-style matchup. The first round is listed on the front page here of NovaProWrestling.tumblr.com. How'd you come about with the Commonwealth Cup?
The Commonwealth Cup is, again, like it goes back to those long car rides with Dad, where we just kind of like fantasy booked and stuff. But the Commonwealth Cup is basically our version of like the Super 8 or Best of the Best or the Jersey J Cup, just the old kind of classic kind of independent wrestling tournaments where they would showcase the top guys from their area as well as the top wrestlers from around the world. And we kind of have a really good mix here in the Cup. I believe we have 7 or 8 guys that are kind of just like Nova guys, and then 4 or 5 guys that aren't here every month but are considered some of the best wrestlers in the world, and not only just at wrestling in general, but tournament wrestling. Jonathan Gresham is in this, and he's won a Best of the Best. David Starr is in this, and he went deep in this year's 16-karat gold tournament. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams has competed in the Style Battle and the J-Lit, and Alex Daniels made it as far as the finals of last year's J-Lit. So there's a lot of guys in this tournament that know how to get it done in tournament matches.
So
let's not forget Chet Starling, man.
He's different.
Can't forget Chet Sterling. No, the Ultra J champion certainly is one of the big favorites to win this Friday night. So
let's run down the list of competitors here. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, Eric Royal. Eric Royal, by the way, is undefeated, correct?
Yeah, undefeated since day one.
Wow. How long has he been active?
Eric's been wrestling in general for about 6 or 7 years, mainly in North Carolina for CWF Mid-Atlantic down there. He's been with Nova Pro since the very first show, and like you said, has been undefeated since the very first show, even beating some pretty big names like Donovan Dijak and, the greatest of all time, Chris Hero, back in November. So he's a big deal around these parts.
You got to think he might be the favorite for this tournament.
I would say he's probably the odds-on favorite to win this thing, but Eric, during this undefeated streak, he hasn't had to wrestle 3 times in one night, and that's what he's going to have to do on Friday to stay undefeated. So we shall see.
Very, very true. He's a big guy. He's going to have to really step it up.
Now, I can't remember who he fought at the Firehouse.
That was Ricky Shane Page.
Is he in the tournament? I didn't.
Ricky Page is actually not in, but he had a tremendous showing, I thought, with Eric in the ring.
Yeah.
Ricky's a great wrestler, mainly known as a deathmatch wrestler, but he likes to show off that he can, get down on the mat with any of them. And he really showed us something back in March, and you'll definitely see him back in a Nova Pro ring in no time.
So we got Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, Eric Royal, Jonathan Gresham, Logan Easton LaRue, champion of the 1%. By the way, he has his own fan club that comes to the shows in suits and ties. What the heck's that about?
That's a very new thing. Like that, I don't think that happened until the last show, and we were all very taken aback by that.
I mean, these guys were dressed to the nines, throwing the one finger up for everybody. It was pretty cool, actually. You stumbled onto something great when you're supposed to be a bad guy, but the whole crowd's popping for everything you do because you're the champion of the 1%. He could have a belt that just said 1%.
I think with him, a little bit is he's kind of gained a lot of respect. He's a guy that's been with Nova Pro since day one. Like I said, and throughout last year, he had a very violent rivalry with Sanjay Dutt, who many people consider the godfather of Nova Pro Wrestling, that ended in a pretty great steel cage match at our 1-year anniversary show in September. And since then, he's been chasing the Ultra J title but kind of something more than that. He's kind of been chasing more than the Ultra title in a way. He kind of wants to be known as the face of Nova Pro Wrestling, kind of the franchise of the promotion, and I may not like a lot of his tactics, but the way he talks to me and the way he talks about the Commonwealth Cup and about Nova Pro Wrestling, there's a fire in this guy's eye that just makes me think that he could somehow pull it off this Friday night. So I'd watch out for Logan.
Then, of course, continuing down the list here, Donovan Dijak, the PWI Ultra J champion, Chet Sterling, Bobby the Body Shields. That's right, Chet Sterling is different. Alex Daniels, the young lion.
The real life Ben Affleck, Alex Daniels.
Oh my God! Sorry, that's Alexander James. I'm screwing it all up already. Damn it!
The guy with the 3 Ben Affleck T-shirts. Yeah.
People chanting Geely at this guy. I mean, what the hell?
That was good.
Hello.
With looking at down the list here, of course, you've got Tim Donst, John Kerman, who took part in a matchup with the Bone Collector. This was the matchup we saw at the Firehouse. Wow. Those guys were throwing hands pretty well and exchanging different submission holds very quickly.
Yeah, the interesting thing about John Kerman, there's a lot of guys in independent wrestling right now. Matthew Riddle and Dominic Guarini, probably the two most prominent. But there's a lot of guys in independent wrestling right now kind of like transitioning from MMA to professional wrestling. Kerman is interesting in the fact that he was a professional wrestler for 14 years, and back in, I want to say 2012, 2013, kind of semi-retired from professional wrestling to pursue MMA more, and now has a winning record in amateur MMA. And when Nova Pro started up, he wanted to come back because he's a Northern Virginia boy. He wants to wrestle in front of his friends and family every month, and he doesn't really wrestle a lot of other places but Nova Pro, and he kind of looks at the Commonwealth Cup as a night to defend his home turf in a way. He doesn't want the Commonwealth Cup to not just go to like a Nova Pro roster member, but he wants it to go to a Northern Virginia, born and bred guy. The very first Commonwealth Cup champion is going to be, in the history books forever, pretty much. And he wants it to be someone from right here. He wants it to be himself. He wants it to be John Kerman.
And then, of course, you've got the last two on the list here, Trip Cassidy and the product David Starr. Now, David Starr, no pun intended, his star is definitely on the rise. He's making a name for himself all over the world, as recently as just a few days ago, making an appearance in Ring of Honor. This could be a real huge get for you.
Yeah, David Starr made his debut here back in September in a losing effort against Eric Royal, but definitely impressed the offices. And when we were putting together the lineup for the Commonwealth Cup, he was definitely somebody that was pretty high up on our list. And like you said, his star is on the rise. He's got a pretty busy schedule. He just came off about a 3-month tour of Europe, so he made time to compete in the Commonwealth Cup, and he seems pretty confident about it. I know he was taken aback last weekend in Orlando by not being able to win the Best of the Best tournament by CZW. So there might be like a bit extra incentive, a little bit extra fire to go out there and bust his ass to win the Commonwealth Cup this Friday night.
So first round matches that are listed here, Donovan Dijak versus Tim Donst, Chet Sterling versus Alex Daniels. Bobby Shields is taking on Jonathan Gresham. Is that still correct?
Yes.
And, of course, John Kerman taking on Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. Now, I've seen a lot of Tracy Williams on Style Battle Evolve. I don't know where he gets the hot sauce thing from, but he's definitely a skilled performer.
This should be a very interesting match just because it's two guys that are very very skilled on the mat. And like you said, with that match with Bone Collector, Kerman showed off a lot more submissions that he has in the past. And he's going to have to, pull some extra tricks out of his hat because he's going up against a true submission specialist, someone that William Regal has called one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. And if William Regal is calling you one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, then it's got to be true in Hot Sauce Tracy Williams.
Any idea where he got the Hot Sauce nickname?
I think it has something. It's something to do with like his first match. There was like hot sauce on the ring or something by accident, and I don't really know, but it's some wacky story like that.
So I notice on the page that tickets, of course, are still available. Is the front row seats sold out at this point?
We are about at 85% sold out. I will not be surprised if they're gone by the end of Raw tomorrow. Because we usually sell a lot of tickets during Raw and SmackDown, so I wouldn't be surprised if front row is gone by the end of Raw tomorrow. But GA will be available plentiful all week and at the door, so definitely grab those. But if you want to be close to the action, I would act quickly.
Certainly,
I will say when we went.
Yes,
I will say when we went, and I called it a firehouse. It's not. It is a fire hall, but it was a very nice venue, and there wasn't a bad seat in the house. So, I mean, obviously, jump on those ring sides because you definitely take part in the action. But it's going to be a great show. Are there any other matches besides the Commonwealth Cup matches on the card?
Yes, there will be non-tournament action featuring the Carnies and Cutie and the Beast. These two tag teams have been going at it for the past 6 months or so, and we have scheduled time for them to have a match. I'm not sure what exactly that will entail. Cutie and the Beast has said that they will bring backup because, the Carnies do have the numbers game on Cutie and the Beast, but we shall see what happens this Friday night.
Stan.
Now, when we saw the Carnies come in, go ahead, Eddie. I know that you're very familiar with the Carnies.
Oh, yeah, and actually quite a few people that you've got on this card, especially the Carnies I work with down here in the southeastern U.S., especially with Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. And, folks, I will sit back and say this. One, I've had a chance to do a little homework on Nova Pro. If you haven't had a chance to check out a live event yet, this is the one to start with, a great launching point. Number two, if you are a fan of good and or great tag team wrestling, you definitely want to check out the Down South Dandy, Nick Iggy, the Music City Mutt, Kerry Awful, the team formerly known as Team IOU, now known as the Carnies. Don't blink, you will miss something, and if you blink, you might be missing your head before it's over with because they'll take it off. They're that damn good, that darn fast, and able to take care of business. Boom. Had to get that one in there.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy move around as quickly as I have seen Kerry Awful.
Yeah.
That guy's nuts.
Deceptively fast.
Very agile big man. Very, very agile.
Yeah, because when we were there, the Carnies, the match started from the back, coming out through the entranceway. It was awesome from the get-go. It caught your attention.
It will be a six fest, I guarantee you that, if you're not careful. Now, is the entire entourage coming for the Carnies?
Now, there is Trip Cassidy is in the tournament, so they do have allies in that locker room this Friday night.
And I didn't know.
And where Trip Cassidy goes, Priscilla Kelly can't be far behind.
About to ask if TPK is going to be somewhere in the vicinity.
You want to talk about a woman who has really made her name in the past 6 months. Priscilla Kelly has done a phenomenal job. Mike, I know you've got tons of stuff going on, a lot of work going on with the show. Let's go ahead and get it out there for all of our fans listening right now. Where can they catch up with Nova Pro, of course, on Twitter and social media otherwise?
You can follow Nova Pro Wrestling on Twitter at VA Wrestling. You can check us out on Instagram at Nova Pro Res, and you can check out the full lineup for the Commonwealth Cup, as well as purchase tickets at novaprowrestling.tumblr.com.
Excellent. And, folks, there you have it. The one and only Mike King, promoter, co-founder of Nova Pro. Mike, thank you so much for joining us, man. We definitely appreciate it.
The
No
triple
problem,
threat
guys.
will be back up there.
Can't wait. Hey, definitely come by and say hi while you're up here, all right?
You got it, man. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
No problem, guys. See you Friday night.
All right. Folks, there you go. Once again, Nova Pro Wrestling with the Commonwealth Cup. April 14th, Friday night, 8 o'clock is bell time, 7:30 is when the doors open. It's going to be a big, big night for Nova Pro, and they are leaving their mark on the wrestling on the East Coast. So be sure to check it out. It is being held at 8900 Little River Turnpike in Fairfax, Virginia, at the Jewish Community Center of Northern Virginia. Of course, again, Friday, April 14th. Wow. That's going to be a pretty awesome show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Priscilla Kelly, yes, sir.
I mean, I was just impressed when we went to it before of the production value. You know what I mean? It seemed to have a flow. There wasn't any real dead time. So,
And the night went by quick, too.
It was off the hook.
Yes. Brian, what do you think of the Commonwealth Cup, man?
I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good night of wrestling.
Sure will. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting equation to figure out to see who comes out with the cup itself. I'm going to have to put my money on Eric Royal.
I'm going Chet Sterling.
I'll go Gresham.
Jonathan Gresham.
After
Eddie,
watching them this past weekend, I'll go Gresham.
I'm split between Tim Donst and David Starr.
Wow. So looks like we've all got our own individual picks. So hopefully we'll see how this works out. Oh, let's see. Hey, Eddie, guess what time it is, sir?
I was wondering.
Time for us to take our second break of the evening. We are on time. It's amazing.
It's time to take your meds. Oh, no.
Folks, we're going to be right back here on Corner to Corner. Stick with us on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com, prowrestlingradio.net. Back in a few. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Corner Wrestling Radio. We are back in hour number 2 on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com, prowrestlingradio.net. Got to make sure you get the addresses in there so everybody knows where they can find us.
And, of course, don't forget the Beyond Ringside Radio app for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry products.
And, of course, you can catch us on TuneIn. And that's for all of our Apple users. And, of course, later, as replays are available, you can download us from Spreaker.com and off iTunes directly.
I'm going to go ahead and hijack for a second because I asked a question on my personal page. Now, Stan, you kind of answered this one over on Twitter, so you are hereby going last.
Aw, crap.
In a totally unrelated subject, we all have our favorites. What is your favorite cartoon, not just comic book, cartoon character of all time? Rob Hefner.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know.
Wow, that narrowed
I
it
watched
down.
them all. Shirt tails. There you go.
Shirt tails. He likes playing with shirt tails. Okay, there you go.
Alrighty.
Brian Taylor.
I'm kind of like Rob. There were so many. I know I
want
have
to change my
I would say. I definitely not shirt tail, so.
I know. I just changed mine to G.I. Joe. Like, that just totally...
No, you can't.
I walked out of the room and saw my G.I. Joe toys. It's like, G.I. Joe! Or Mask.
No. Rob, you only get to keep your band card till you come back from West Virginia. shirt tails.
Yeah, we might have to confiscate for at least a few months.
Yeah, just for a couple of months. And you definitely don't get to realize you made the mistake and then turn around and say, oh, G.I. Joe. It was G.I. Joe. All along, it was G.I. Joe. You're stuck with shirt tails.
And then, of course, I believe if you follow Stan on Twitter, you pretty much know the answer that Stan gave.
Uh-oh. So was Stan laughing at Rob to try and turn the attention somewhere else?
No. Because Superman still reigns supreme as my all-time favorite cartoon and comic book hero.
Some of the names that I've gotten on the personal question, like I said, if you've got me on Facebook.com/FastStudyLane, feel free to answer over there. Over on my personal page, some of the answers that I've gotten were Elmer Fudd, Homer Simpson, Mercer from the G.I. Joe movie, which really doesn't qualify as a comic book or a cartoon character, but we'll go with it. Scooby-Doo is starting to pull away. He-Man, Bugs Bunny is Bugs Bunny's currently in second. Hong Kong Phooey has been mentioned. Panthro, Wile E. Coyote, Jessica Rabbit, among some of the other names that have been given. I believe Soundwave from, the Transformers. Yeah. Has been given as well. So from that vantage point, like I said, also on Twitter, at Fast Eddie Lane, I put it over there. But like I said, easy way. Just curious to find out your favorite cartoon character of all time. Drop on over, pop me an answer.
Sorry, Rob.
At least he didn't say the Snorks.
Sounds like he's logged off or something. Oh, there it goes. Oh, damn, it slipped. I didn't know it slipped.
Thank you, Magoo. All right. Actually, that's one of my big three. Mr. Magoo, voiced by the legendary late, great Jim Backus. Marvin the Martian, voiced by the legendary, God rest his soul, Frank Oz. And in a totally related yet unrelated, I do like some of the secondary characters a little bit. My third favorite of actually Zorak from the Space Ghost series fame. And
Space Ghost.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes. Zorak is cool.
Space Ghost.
You say that again and I'll zap you. Zorak is cool. Zorak for Emperor.
Underdog.
Remember
was cool
the
Wally Cox.
Yeah.
And
what about Mighty Mouse?
Mighty Mouse?
No.
But see, here's the funny part.
What?
I know, Stan, you and I have discussed this before, so I have to ask you to recuse yourself from answering this. What do Scooby-Doo and the Super Friends have in common? Brian, you're first.
Scooby-Doo and the Super Friends?
Yes. Scooby-Doo and the original Super Friends cartoon. What do they have in common?
Other than, let's see, Hanna-Barbera. They're voiced by the same person?
Please be more specific.
Oh, I wouldn't know who voiced them specifically.
It's one of the worst kept secrets in entertainment. Rob, you want to take a crack at it?
Was it Casey Kasem?
Yes, it was. The voice of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo and Robin from the original Super Friends was voiced by the iconic Mr. Casey Kasem. And now,
keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
And now, back to the countdown.
Here's a special dedication from Molly, who says, I hate your show.
You picked that name, thanks.
Well, was it like, is that somebody you know? I just made it up.
Just some rat. But
damn. Wow.
Womp, womp.
So, let's talk about the news of the week. Brian, I know you got tons to cover from Ring of Honor. Let's get back into that, man. Talk about some of the highlights and stuff you saw while you were there.
All right,
Ladies and gentlemen, the following will be spoilers of Ring of Honor.
No, I'm going to try and be as spoiler free as I can, and just I won't talk about the winners of specific matches, but I might tell you whether a match is great or not. So again, I told you there were a lot of surprises, a lot of people showing up. One of them was David Starr, who beat up the winner of the Top Prospect match. This was the final match in the Top Prospect tournament, if I heard it right. And David Starr showed up and beat the tar out of the winner. Matt Sydal returned. The Young Bucks had an open challenge. Said they'd beat everybody, and there was nobody left in the locker room, so they said that we're now going to have an open challenge for every former tag team, every present tag team, every future tag team, every tag team of time and space, yada, yada, yada. And I'll give you one spoiler. The Spirit Squad showed up.
Boo!
Well, they actually, in one of the later episodes, have a match with the Young Bucks, and it was probably one of the matches of the night. So, I don't know about Mikey, but old Kenny there. Kenny's pretty built. So, but they hung with the Young Bucks pretty well in that match. It was a good match. Some guy named Flip, I forget his last name. This was crazy right here. This one freaked me out. A guy named Flip come down in camo pants. And my wife asked me a question long about the time he was climbing up on the turnbuckle. And this was before the match started. So he was climbing up. My wife asked me a question. I turned to look at her while she's still watching what's going on in the ring. About that time I hear him hit the mat, and his pants are gone. He's down to his trunks.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, well, didn't he have pants just a second ago? And she says, while this guy is doing a flip in the air,
Yep.
he's got the breakaway pants. He is able to get the pants loose and throw them out of the ring while in midair. And I'm sorry I missed that. That is quite possibly pretty cool.
In other words, somebody stole Stan's gimmick about being able to take off his pants in midair.
Yeah, that was crazy because it confused the piss out of me. You know, I only looked away for maybe a second. And by the time he got out, I mean, they were gone.
That's what she said.
Let's see. I almost bought Adam Page's shirt, but it was a little bit more pricier than the rest, I believe, just because of the design, and it's probably a hot seller, so I avoided that one. There's a Four Corners match for the number one contender. I won't tell you who wins. Yeah, the ref might have screwed up the Kelly Q versus Klein match. Because it looked like both of them made it in to beat the 20 count. And Klein got, they said Klein was still outside the ring.
God, a 20 count seems like an eternity.
Well, yeah, because a couple of them just seem like, you know, again, you know how some of these 10 counts draw into like a minute and a half?
Right.
Well, a 20 count can sometimes draw in about 5 minutes. So there were a couple of those.
Is there a chant for please stop fighting?
Let's see. Daniels and Castle versus Cody and Adam Cole. That match is going to follow the storyline that was started in Vegas. It was cool, though, to see Dalton Castle and the boys. So that was kind of cool. Saban had the team with Jonathan Gresham versus Cheeseburger and somebody else. I didn't catch the name of it. When Alex Shelley was said to be injured. Jonathan Gresham is quite a technical wrestler. He is very technically sound. Then we had the Rebellion versus the 6-man champs and the Briscoes and Bully Ray, and that was kind of cool because at the end, Bully gave out pieces of the table that they put one of the members through after the match. So I'm not really spoiling the ending of the match, but they gave out a piece of the table. So that was kind of cool. A bunch of the kids walked away with some of the smaller pieces, and then there were a few them diehard fans that scooped up the big pieces and lugged them, out the building.
So how many did Sharon have to carry to the parking lot?
None. I tried to get Katrina a piece, but I guess the light he didn't see in the light. We were only like 7 rows back, and again, these aren't like stadium seating or nothing. These are folding chairs, and so we were fairly close. But she got the autograph from him. So, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I just can't believe it took me so long to figure out that it was a TV taping. So,
all I remember is about 2 hours in, you're like, and apparently this is a TV taping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't like the old NWA TV tapings where, you might get 2 weeks worth. Mm-hmm. This by my calculation would be a month and then some. Some of the people didn't even stay for the last few episodes. They got up and left.
Wow.
So, again, the building was a little hot. So, that probably came into play. But I had a good time. I'll definitely do it again. But I don't think I could do it with the wife and daughter. So
I'm in next time for sure.
I think it taxed them too much. So, but again, there were some surprises, and so it was fun. There's going to be a good month of TV for Ring of Honor coming up without no spoilers.
Now, I noticed since we're talking about Ring of Honor and independent wrestling.
All right. So you're pulling my leg here.
Okay.
So Jay Lethal becomes the number 1 contender, and then Cody Rhodes comes out and dumps both Christopher Daniels and Jay Lethal.
Be kind of cool to see Cody Rhodes become a Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah. So there you go. So I didn't want to do it. I didn't, but I had to.
So
I'm not. Next time, Jay, let my wife shut your trunk because she was trying to be cordial, and I won't spoil your matches. How about that?
Well, see, that'll learn you, darn you.
Yeah, that'll learn you.
He was afraid of being in Baltimore, man. That place is the murder capital of the world.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah. So when you leave, again in big cities, they have a lot of one-way streets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told my wife to cut the Huey in a T intersection. She said, "No, I can't do it here. I'm gonna drive down, and about the end of the block, it goes from OK Street to we need to cut the block pretty damn fast."
But he didn't say fudge.
Yeah. Anytime there is a grill, not a gas grill, but one of them charcoal grills out in the front yard, and one of the legs is like half bent off and it kind of leans to the side, but it's in the yard, so it's getting use. It's not a neighborhood you want to hang in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, it's because the leg was taken off to beat somebody with.
My point, you want to cut the block as fast as possible.
Well, it's like when we went to Baltimore Comic-Con. You left the convention center from Baltimore Comic-Con. You're like, wow, look at these nice row houses. Look at that. Oh, honey, let's go. Quick, don't look. Don't stop at the stop signs. Just get your ass out to go.
Do not make eye contact.
Like, go.
Yeah, no. Well, it's kind of like FedEx Field. If anybody's been to FedEx Field, like FedEx Field, you would not know that a half a mile up the road turns into 70s slums. You know what I'm saying? Like you have pimps and hookers on a corner outside of a alcohol store next to an alcohol store. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Price specials.
Yeah, I mean there are alcohol stores, and in front of them there's a pimp and plenty of whores.
Maybe they were just cosplaying.
No, there's no cosplay in there. We went one time. Me and a friend, we got lost and had to come in the back way. And of course, both of us are cops, and it's like we're sitting there like, did we hit the time loop? Are we back in the 70s here? You know.
Where's Shuggy Bear?
Huggy Bear.
It's like roll the window up. Roll it up slow. Don't attract them slow. You know. Green light, go.
Well, you're in trouble when you get to the neighborhoods where there's police lights at the top of the street signs.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, you get in trouble when you get to the neighborhood and the cop looks at you going,
You sure
you don't want to be here?
Exactly. Go home right now.
Like, keep going.
You get to the edge of the neighborhood and realize it's not a filming location for The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
When you go to the neighborhood and the church has bars on the doors and windows.
And a Gatling gun.
At the top.
No.
Clear the street.
I just took a trip to part of Washington, D.C. We got off the Beltway, and the guy I was riding with looked at me going, Rob, just don't say anything. We walked in the place, they looked at him, they talked to him, they looked at me, they didn't say a word. I'm like, okay.
Are you scaring people again, Rob?
No.
They were scaring you this time. Huh?
Okay. I've got to do this one now. If you go to D.C. on a regular basis, you'll know the area I'm talking about. But didn't they also, in one of the main parts of D.C., pull a major revitalization effort with a true 5-star high-end shopping facility?
Yeah, I mean, D.C. is not terrible on its face, but again, there are a lot of roads you just don't want to.
Yeah, the further out you get from the federal area, like if you go to the mall, the Smithsonian, the monuments, and all that, you're great. But the further out you get, woo.
I mean, there's a huge effort to get more businesses and a better clientele near the Verizon Center, but it's so tough because you've got so many people there, and it's all walks of life. So we're not just talking about a specific type or whatever, but you just, Eddie, to your point, they try very hard, but at the same time, you're still going to run into the same problems.
Right.
Well, the problem is
we're talking too, though, that there are stops that the Metro won't make.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? There are stretches that it's just like, why isn't there a stop here? And it's because it's a bad neighborhood. So.
But see, that's becoming prevalent in every major market city now. Atlanta has those. I'm sure New York has those. Boston, Philly, Detroit. I mean, Birmingham's got that. I mean, hey, it's not just exclusive.
God, yeah, Atlanta has it. I've been there twice, and oh my God. You know?
It's not now stopping, it's now passing.
Yep. Yeah. It's like Atlanta, we put in the hotel we're going to stay at in Atlanta the first time I went down there, and the MapQuest took us to the Atlanta City Jail.
Huh?
And then all along the street in front of the jail, there were people like, hold on, come. And somebody said, oh, wait a minute, they're building a new stadium, and oh, wait a minute, that's the Atlanta Revitalization Project. Ted Turner is tearing down houses to build yet another stadium.
It's not Ted.
But no, my wife and I, we went to a concert recently in D.C., and we left, and it was like 11 o'clock, and we started heading out, and it's amazing how many people do their laundry at 11 o'clock at night in D.C. There's nothing on this street. You go to the laundromat, like, whoa.
That's the place to be, man. It's a hangout.
I know. I'm looking at my wife going, just let's go. Light turn green, please.
I have a question.
Okay.
We don't have an answer. We're not allowed to tell you.
This past Monday, on Monday Night Raw, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, in a rare appearance, God, it feels weird to actually say that nowadays, made the comment of a superstar shakeup this week, as in starting tomorrow, April 10th.
In other words, Eddie is trying to get us back on track.
My boy.
Who would be the first person that you would trade shows? Brian Taylor.
AJ Styles.
And why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because if I put AJ Styles on Raw with Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, Chris Jericho, I can have me a 5-star match almost any day of the week.
Rob Hefner.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Mm-hmm.
No, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair.
Ooh.
And why?
Because the women's division on SmackDown is, and truthfully, you're never going to move on in the Raw division until, no one's ever going to move in the Raw division women's title until she's out of the picture. It's kind of like when you have the champion there, you got to keep her in the loop, just like they do John Cena. You know, if you're going to have John Cena every day on SmackDown, eventually you're going to talk about the title. So, and it gives her, you know, that's where that is. Or that or New Day.
Stan Grubb.
I would probably
James Ellsworth. No.
Damn it, he got it. No, I'm just kidding. I would probably move Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. I'd switch them shows. I think Ambrose is going to lose the Intercontinental title pretty quickly anyway. But if you're going to just trade the titles over, I think Owens has a lot to offer to the SmackDown brand. And to Brian's point, if AJ makes the run over to Raw, then Owens really doesn't need to be there. He can be very, very well utilized on SmackDown.
Do you think for one moment that with the talent that is currently on Monday Night Raw, and remembering Finn's back, how quickly does AJ get lost in the shuffle, Stan?
It's feasible. I mean, you've got so many top guys on Raw right now, main event level, that it's definitely possible. But with the popularity of AJ Styles right now, I honestly could see him overshadowing a guy like Seth Rollins or Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, or even Finn Balor, just with his popularity. It would really depend. So if you move AJ, though, you got to look at who's going to SmackDown.
Roman Reigns.
And depending on how you do that,
Roman Reigns.
It could work out. But it really depends. That seems to be the predominant opinion, by the way, is that Roman Reigns is going to SmackDown.
Roman Reigns needs to go to Impact.
Oh.
I put it to you like this. Let Roman Reigns go over there because he's all Superman now and get in a feud with Nakamura and let Nakamura just kick the shit out of him once or twice and make him look stupid.
Hey, he's got
and
one
I
per
bet
hour.
you we won't have to worry about Roman Reigns anymore.
3 concussions later.
Then Stan would be upset.
I think Roman Reigns on SmackDown, honestly, while it depending on what they do with them, could be good. But I mean, you can't just keep all your big guys on the same roster. So you got Braun Strowman, The Big Show, Mark Henry, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Is there another super heavyweight on Raw that I'm missing? I mean, so you have to kind of move one.
Mark
of them,
Henry, you can say Mark Henry.
Yeah. So I think Roman Reigns to SmackDown is actually not a bad idea. If you trade AJ for Roman, SmackDown suffers from that, I think. But, who knows? It really depends on what happens with the title and who beats Randy Orton.
SmackDown will trade James Ellsworth for Roman Reigns.
That's about even.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of even, or the lack thereof, why, in your opinion, did they take the belt off Bray Wyatt and put it on Randy Orton? Rob?
The narrow-minded booking committee.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm with Rob. They seem to have this love affair for certain people that aren't doing their business any good. We all know Randy's problems, and yet he's still a, 13-time world champ right now? 14-time?
13, 14, something like that.
There's a good chance it'll happen again. And, again, they're just going to keep giving him that title when Bray is the most over superstar out there right now.
Stan?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that WWE's higher-ups still have a hard-on for Randy Orton. It's annoying. Did he improve? Yes. Did he have some good matches? Yes. But does that make him a world champion this time? No, absolutely not. They really, really did well with the build-up for Bray Wyatt, and then they fell short with having Randy go over. I mean, at Mania, they had all the special effects where you had the maggots and the worms and all that stuff in the ring, and it was kind of cool, but at the same time, you do all that for nothing, and Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, you're back to square one with Bray Wyatt. That sucks.
Well, and the first time, when they hit the maggots at WrestleMania, he responded to it. The second time, he didn't even act like it was there.
Yeah, he ignored it.
The roaches,
right.
yeah. I'm good.
But I will say that I think Bray chasing for the belt will be a lot more fun with the mind games and the total Brian's favorite word that he could do to Randy Orton. Yeah.
Okay, let me flip this 1 second. First one answers wins. Who was the heel and who was the babyface in that match?
Honestly, it should have been Orton the heel and Wyatt the face, because that's how the crowd was reacting.
No, but who was what?
Orton was the face.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So your
I don't know. He's an arsonist.
Yeah, really.
How do you be a good guy as an arsonist?
Desecrates a grave, burns down a house, willful destruction of private property. That sounds pretty effing...
Trespass.
That sounds pretty effing heelish to me.
Agreed.
I mean, remember when Triple H did it to Randy Orton and broke in his house?
Oh, yeah.
Hunter,
that was...
Hunter was the heel that time, and Randy was the babyface.
I mean, I was still wondering why Randy Orton didn't pull a Pillman and grab a gun.
Yeah, go figure that one out. Somebody breaks in my house, guess what? They meet my two best friends, Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson.
Well, and then the fact that, right before WrestleMania, Orton breaks back into it?
Yeah.
I'm standing back here, Bray. Bray, you need to buy him better locks, Bubba.
And maybe he should reconsider where he lives. I mean, geez.
Portions of the Wyatt family brought to you by ADT Home Monitoring Systems.
Your top secret compound. Hello.
Now, how fast do you think Luke Harper's going to turn and we'll see the Wyatt family back together?
Next pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
Because Rowan's back, had an awesome-looking new mask. That was cool. I did finally get a chance to see that. I mean, Strowman is... Let's switch gears. What about the reaction that Braun Strowman got standing face-to-face with Brock Lesnar? That was crazy.
Braun would die.
I don't think so. I mean, he would be in intensive care probably, but his career would probably be shortened much like The Undertaker's. So. Braun is slowly becoming quite the main guy there the last month or so. He gets quite the cheers.
All right, tell you what. I'm going to steal y'all out from under your own show for a hot second, since over here on the network side, we didn't really get a chance to catch a WrestleMania recap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start top of the card, bottom of the card, and just run it real quick and ask you for your opinions on the matches that took place at Mania itself. Is that okay with y'all?
Let's do it.
Let's run them.
Fine by me.
Let's run them light speed. Let's go Austin Aries versus Neville. Rob.
I thought that was a great match, and I thought the wrong person won. I thought Aries should have taken it. And
tell you what, in the ease and simplicity part, when you're finished with your answer, throw to the next person. So Rob, throw to Brian.
Brian.
I thought that could easily be one of the matches of the night. I agree with Rob. I don't understand why Neville didn't lose right there.
And Brian throws to
Stan.
Brian throw it at Stan.
I have thrown it to Stan before. I mean,
hey.
Well, I did say throw it, not pitch it. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Go on, Stan, catch it.
Stimpy, you idiot! I'm the pitcher, you're the catcher.
Catch it good, boy.
I hate you guys. Hope all the bad things happen to you and you only. Austin Aries and Neville was a tremendous matchup. I really enjoyed it. That drop kick that Aries hit, where he basically knocked Neville's head off. I mean, what the hell? I did like the fact that Neville went to the eye and kept with that story. Thought that was good. But I agree with Rob and Brian. I think Austin Aries should have won.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
I was throwing it back to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Rob.
I didn't see much of it, but Mojo Rally, I thought they other people that were in it could have won it. I was surprised to see Sami Zayn throw it out, and yeah, it was okay. Brian.
I would say this would be my first throwaway match. I don't think I necessarily needed it. Didn't entertain me for what I saw. And again, why does Gronkowski have to interfere? That's just foolish. Stan?
The Battle Royal was what it was. I honestly thought Braun Strowman winning would have made better sense. Mojo, it was a nice little story, but the sad thing with Mojo Rawley is WWE's going to get bored with him real quick, and it's not really going to matter. He'll be the first guy where that Battle Royal doesn't mean squat. Eddie?
What did y'all think about the interference of Rob Gronkowski? More importantly, the little blonde security guard who tried to grab him and got blown off real quick. Rob?
I didn't think that she got the message. She was at the show in Charlottesville that we went to, and she was one of the ones that kept control of what was going on. And to me, it looked like nobody told her what was going to happen. And she was playing her role as, no, dude, get back the hell over the wall. But then you saw the shirts come in real quick, and they're like, no, it's part of the show. So that's what I thought. Brian?
Didn't need it. Thought it was dumb. Dumb. All right, Shane, you better take it.
Gronk didn't need to... Gronk didn't need to interfere. It was here's a celebrity moment we could do on the cheap, I think. The security guard stole the show for that, though. She seemed legitimately like she was trying to hurt Gronk. Eddie.
And word just came in that Donald Trump has just appointed the little blonde security guard national security advisor. From there, Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles.
Wait. Back up.
What?
Got Dean and...
Oh, yeah. I was gonna take that one later in the show anyway.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and take it. Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. Rob?
I thought it was a good match with the AJ Styles and Shane McMahon, but I didn't think the match needed to happen because the whole storyline leading up to it was Shane McMahon was supporting AJ Styles, it would have made more sense for him to find him another opponent instead of saying, "Oh well, you know." But anyway, Brian.
I'm glad they didn't foul this one up and have Shane go over. I actually enjoyed that one. I thought it was pretty good. It was definitely hard hitting, which I wasn't expecting. AJ got quite the little shine around of it. But I enjoyed it. That was one of my favorite matches of the night. Damn. That's you.
I think it was
when
match
I shut
of the
up,
night.
you go.
No, you're supposed to throw to him.
Oh. No, he doesn't want to throw nothing to me.
You do the audible call. Stan.
I thought the matchup was probably match of the night. Right guy went over. I agree with Rob, though. The whole build-up was just backwards. Shane's like, he needs to be in the main event, blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, AJ doesn't like him. I don't get it. But, hey, it was a good matchup. The two of them worked very well together. And we may have seen what was the beginning of a face turn for AJ, shaking the hand of Shane McMahon on SmackDown. Edward?
I think the match sent a major message to the entire locker room. The owner's son, who only really works once or twice a year, just turned in a match along with AJ Styles, not in spite of AJ Styles, not because of AJ Styles, but along with AJ Styles, that should have everybody in the locker room going, oh crap, this is what a curtain match is supposed to be. It's the one that lets everybody in the locker room know, oh, we got to beat that. And Shane McMahon did a very admirable job. I'm going to go ahead and go next with the biggest waste of time in my life. Miz and Maurice, John and Nikki with special guest ring announcer Al Roker. He'll get his name right sooner or later. Rob.
I thought the lead up was funny with the Miz and Maurice making fun of John Cena and all that. But it was scripted from the get-go, and here we go with another dumb Hollywood marriage angle, whatever. But anyway, I didn't understand what Al Roker was doing in the whole thing. I didn't understand that at all. Brian?
Second throwaway of the night. So what do we have? 4 matches we've talked about?
Thus far.
And I'm saying you could have thrown 2 of them out the window. So we're batting 500 today, kids. Yeah, I think Rob said it. Ain't really much to talk about. That was for all the build up. That was lackluster at best. So Stan.
Yeah, I mean the story itself was the Miz and Maurice selling it big time. With their parodies of Cena and Nikki Bella with the Total Bellas thing. But the story itself was really the proposal, which the only problem I have with that is it really just makes Cena look even more fake. And, I mean, what contract's he going to make Nikki sign now? So, I don't know. I could have did without it. I mean, the moment was cool for Cena and Nikki. If it's legitimate, hey, congrats to them. If it's bogus, then I don't think anybody will be surprised. Eddie?
The proposal took longer than the match. Go figure that one out. Non-sanctioned match, Triple H versus Seth Rollins. Rob?
Good match. I thought it was a stellar match that Triple H delivered again at WrestleMania, which he's done in the past. Yeah, a pretty good match. Brian?
I thought it was pretty good. I don't didn't particularly care for the way it ended. I don't think it needed a gimmick to end on a gimmick with the whole Stephanie thing. But it was better than most. So 3 for the plus, 2 for the negative. Your turn, Stan.
A great matchup between the two of them. I thought that Triple H continues. I'm thinking he's continuing to cement his legacy as one of the best of all time. Yeah, the Stephanie through the table thing You really didn't need it. She really didn't even need to be out there. I didn't quite understand why Triple H was a biker. I don't think he's ever done anything with a motorcycle before, so that didn't make a whole lot of sense. But the right guy won, told a good story. I think it's time for Seth Rollins to stop using the damn pedigree, though. Find a different finish. Eddie.
3 things took place in this match. Number 1, the one who was healthy rode the motorcycle while the one who was selling the leg injury walked. Number 2, I'll agree, the fact that Triple H has never used a motorcycle or anything of that ilk, but damn, that bike looked cool. Also, the over-under is 3 on how many times Stephanie smiled while she was riding on top of the back seat. And number 3, it's always nice when a member of DX gets a motorcade escort instead of a motorcade to jail. Hey, Hunter, remember the night that you had the girls show their boobs after a DX promo? Why can't you do that with Stephanie? Is it just me, or does that woman get hotter every damn year?
Every day.
No kidding. Just tight leather pants just work for her. So does Oxygen. But by the same token, Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, Intercontinental title match, Rob.
Big letdown, Brian.
I'm agree with Rob, and I'm going to put this in the throwaway category. Corbin should have gone over. I don't know what the love affair is with the Shield members, but yeah, Corbin should have gone over. Tossing it in the trash. Stan.
Yeah, I mean, you don't spend the entire matchup dominating and just brutalizing Dean Ambrose to come out there and be the loser. It made no sense. All the build-up showed that Ambrose was going to be putting Corbin over on WrestleMania. The match was put on the pre-show, which didn't make sense to me, and the wrong guy won. So, while I don't know that I'd qualify it as a throwaway match, it definitely didn't go the way we wanted it. Eddie?
It was a throwaway match because look what they did. Look what they did Tuesday on SmackDown. They could have had the damn street fight on WrestleMania and gotten much better review from it. And Corbin should have gone over. That belt's been negated so long it's not even funny. It's neutral. And speaking of neutral, I can't be neutral on this one. The match that amazingly enough had to follow Shane and AJ, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Rob?
I thought it was a stellar match, a match that we thought was going to happen. Ending the way I thought, I mean, it had to end that way. And I thought it was a great story. Brian?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Expectations being what they are, but I will still say it's one of the better ones of the night. Stan?
I mean, the match itself, the story that led up to it was really, really good. I'm hopeful that Kevin Owens does something similar to the U.S. Open Challenge or something like that. He calls himself the face of America now, so we'll see what happens. But I really liked this match. Probably runner-up to match of the night. Edward.
I was waiting. See, we do it like that. That way I don't step on somebody. Thanks for playing. Let's go with the SmackDown Women's title match. Mickey, Carmella, Natalya, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi in the most predicted match of the night. Nobody got this one wrong. Rob?
Rob.
Yeah, sorry. What are we talking about?
SmackDown
SmackDown title.
The blue
women's title.
Yeah, the Blue Bells title.
I thought the placing showed prominence. I thought it seemed rushed. And the general consensus between the guys was, did they forget about it? Because you're like, wait a minute, it's not going. Wait a minute, you got this. Oh, wait a minute. And then, bam, here it is, and then it's over before it started. Naomi winning was good, but I think it would have been a great way to debut somebody else, and it didn't happen, but it's okay. And yeah, Naomi won, Alexa's lost, and that mood looked like it hurt. Brian?
You know, for all the fuss that was made over this match when it was announced being on the pre-show, and then, oh my goodness, we have to move it to the main show, and then where you place it, you would have thought that it would have been, what's the word I'm looking for here? Executed better, I guess. But again, it to me, it was rushed. It was, oh, wait, we're running late, and we still got to do this match. Y'all get out there and just, walk through the motions for 5 minutes and go take a shower. It was a total letdown for me. I'm glad, it's cool Naomi won. I have no problem with the winner. I just have a problem with the execution. So I'm going to have to throw that in the trash as well. Stan.
Yeah, the logic behind having it be the semi-main really, really confused me. You're leading up to one of the biggest matches of the industry, not for the people that are competing, but for the factor of what happened at the end of it. I just said not for the factor of those competing in it, but for the ending and what happened after. I like Brian said, I don't have a problem with Naomi being women's champion for SmackDown. That's fine. There'll probably be great matches between her and Becky, her and Alexa Bliss, and so on and so on. The problem here was it was sloppy. They were lost in halfway through, and it really, really did seem like they forgot about it. Eddie.
For the most part, the only reason why they put the match as late as they did, other than for people to actually have a bathroom break, is very simply due to the fact that because Naomi was going over and that was a predetermined conclusion all the way from the time that they had announced that she was going to be a part of the match. It has to be dark so you can see the glow.
Oh, gee.
You can't feel the glow in the sunlight. You have to wait till it's dark. So the black light can pick up, kids. That's the
Thank
main
you, Vinnie Mac.
Oh, the wise man speak on producer. Oh.
Yeah. You can't do black light in sunlight. You have to do black light in moonlight. That's the reason why they moved it so freaking late. Is it dark enough? Can it pick up yet? No, it's not dark enough. Damn it. Okay, look, we got one more match. Okay, it's dark enough. Throw him out there. Get him out there.
They should have done it in the main event. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
And no.
I'm kidding.
Fatal 4-way elimination for the Raw Women's title. Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Bayley. Rob?
I thought it was a great match. I thought it would have been a great a time to get the title off of Bayley and save Bayley some, push, I guess. Out of the two women's matches on the card, it was by far the winner of the night. But yeah, the way they eliminated Nia Jax by the all stacked on top, that was funny. But anyway, yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match myself. Even though Bayley won, I wasn't expecting her to win, truth be told, but I have no problem with her winning. That was a pretty decent match. I'm like Rob. I'm becoming I'm losing my interest in these multi-person matches. But I think it was a pretty good match. So we'll take it in the plus column. And now to you, Stan.
The 4-way was a good matchup. I was glad to see Nia Jax eliminated early. I really, really liked the interaction between Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha right afterwards, where Charlotte's trying to, do the high fives, and I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't have a problem with Bayley winning the match and retaining the title, but I really have to agree with what Rob and Brian are saying. You had some tremendous matchups between Bayley and Sasha Banks. This would have been a perfect opportunity to have them continue that legacy. And even if Sasha had won, it would have been all right by me. But again, it was a good matchup for what it was, and I'm glad that Nia Jax didn't win it. Eddie?
Sasha Banks is going to wait one more year to get her real WrestleMania moment in the ring, but she's had 2 for 2 years in a row. Because, number one, she's one of the few people that actually had transportation down the ramp to the ring. And number 2, remember last year, Snoop Dogg sang her intro. So that would be, I'm sorry, to have Grammy Award winning relative sing my entrance music. Oh, hell yeah. You can keep the belt for another year. I'm good with what I got. Okay. People are going to be talking about Snoop and me for a long time to come. And the quadruple fatal 4-way, not quite 3, but 4 teams involved in a ladder match for the Raw Tag Team titles. Gallows and Anderson, Sheamus, Cesaro, Enzo, and Cass, and the Hardys. The worst kept secret of the year. Rob?
Yes. No. I thought a great way to put them in. Even though we all were deep down saying when New Day came out, every person that had knowledge of what was going on. You thought, okay, maybe they're going to bring them out later. Maybe they're going to put them in because I thought for some reason Usos would come out and say, we don't have a match tonight, and then all of a sudden it comes out, boom, yeah, you do. But as soon as they saw the Hardys coming out, the pop they had for the Hardys, and the fact the Hardys actually won, going against what Vince likes to do sometimes, I thought it was a great match. Brian.
I thought the shock of the Hardys coming out was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think that Gallows and Anderson should have lost, especially in a fatal 4-way. However, I do think it was a good match. To me, it sucked the next night when they just pretty much destroyed Gallows and Anderson, the Hardys. But hindsight being 20/20, I thought it was a good match. Stan?
Yeah, I mean, the folks, the people were loud. This was probably the loudest reaction I've heard at a WrestleMania. Maybe since Daniel Bryan. The thought process behind it was that you'd see the club end up retaining with the guys that they had in this matchup initially, but once the Hardys came out, I kind of figured that was it, that they were going over. It was a great matchup. Good to see them back home in the WWE, and I can't wait to see what they do with the Broken Family. I think that they're going to wait out this stupid suit from Anthem. Screw that, Al. Or F that, Al.
Suck it, Al.
Eddie?
Suck it, Owl.
He got 2 words for you.
There you go. 3 words. I had to put the word owl in there. Remember, that's 3 words now. For the record, number 1, when New Day came out and said one more team, and the crowd started chanting delete, it's like I'm sitting back going, oh, this better be, because you're going to have a riot if it's not. Even with Kofi and the rest of New Day feigning the possibility that they're getting ready to make the walk down to the ring, Kofi gave it away with one little thing. The way he said who. Because if Kofi would have said, I wonder who it could be, but he said, I wonder who it could be. He said it as a contiguous sentence. The crowd caught that, so did I. Even though the crowd pretty much started going who right along with him, trying to help him sell the moment. Guess what? Smart fans, gotta love them. And then when the music hit, I came out of my chair applauding. My roommates thought I'd lost my damn mind. And I was glad to see him back in WWE. I don't know about the home part, but I also, in every sense of the word, when Michael Cole said something's about to be broken, I almost did a backflip going, suck it, Owl. But by the same token, look, I think and I love the fact that after the match, Matt started to do the delete arm gesture, and they cut away. But they came back to the Hardys, and they did it again, and they got it on camera that time. I think basically this whole thing is a little scenario. Matt did not leave on bad terms, neither did Jeff. They left on amicable terms, even with all the headaches that Matt went through with Edge and Lita. Not to mention what happened with Jeff and the drug problem down at Impact. Shall we mention the Sting match? Stay down, 1, 2, 3, out by new champ. But I do believe that in his heart of hearts, Hunter and Vince both basically said, oh, Impact's giving you crap? Guess what? We'll give them some right back. And guess what? They did. Suck it, Owl. Impact just screwed the pooch big time, and Vince McMahon and Triple H are helping the Hardys hold the screwdriver. Give it right back to them. Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, we've kind of covered. Any other words you want to throw out there, Rob?
No. Let down and wrong person won. Brian?
Goes into my trash pile.
That's a pretty heavy pile there, buddy.
Yeah, I think it's like 6-5 right now, I think.
Jeez. Tough night.
Stan?
Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. Putting Randy Orton in that position just didn't make sense to me. Eddie?
Same here. I felt that Wyatt should have gone over. I felt Bray Wyatt should have finally earned his WrestleMania moment. I'm not going to say deserved. I'm going to say earned. Lesnar Goldberg. Rob?
You know who was going to, and to me anyway, I knew who was going to win coming into it. I don't think you needed to put a title on it. I think you could have had Goldberg versus Lesnar as a match, and then that would have given you another title match. And the title would have continued to mean something, because now your Universal title is on a part-timer.
Again. Ryan?
Trash. What are we at? 6-6?
Jeez.
Tie ball game? It's a tie ball game going.
No, you did 6 a minute ago.
I know how this one ends.
I think. Actually,
Dan?
I think you have more on the trash heap than you do, because you had 6 a minute ago. This makes 7.
All right, I'll go with that.
The matchup was better than what I thought it might be, but for what it was, agreed. Shouldn't have been a title attached to this. It's okay that Brock won. Don't have a problem with that. But having Brock as champion now, unless they got something funny planned, not a good move. Eddie?
Same here. The match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I keep having nightmares back to that match years ago, and they have dispelled the memory of that match from my mind. Goldberg looked, but they tried to rely on their finishers way too much. It was too one-dimensional in that regard. Lesnar kept going for that, and Goldberg kept going for the spear. It's like, come on, guys. Don't one of y'all have another move in hand? It's like, I'm not asking for, the Indian Deathlock or the Calf Crusher. Calf Crusher is AJ's move. I'm not looking for a Magistral-style pin or an Uchigarochi. I'm just looking for something a little bit different than punch, kick, spear, F5, all of that. It could have been done a little bit better, but it was better than I thought it was going to be. Here we go. Reigns Taker. Rob Hefner.
Boo! I mean, it seemed like it had botched spots from the whole thing. And going in, knowing that it's possibly the Undertaker's last match, I don't understand. I understand in the industry, the whole passing of the torch type thing. But for him to pass the torch to Roman Reigns and for him to lose at his last Mania made no sense to me. The way that at the end, they allowed him to, he put his stuff back on, stood in the ring, and then he took it all off and left it in the ring. Very moving moment. Probably the WrestleMania moment of the night. But just, I didn't understand him losing his last WrestleMania. It could have just very as well been him shutting down Roman Reigns, putting him down 1, 2, 3, but for you to get the tombstone and all the finishers, and then all of a sudden you hit 107 Superman punches and spears, it just didn't make. Brian.
Oh, where to begin? Let's see. I've been a proponent for some time that The Undertaker should not be wrestling. I think this match just vindicated me. There were so many botched spots in it. It wasn't funny. The one time where Undertaker can't even stand up and Roman is trying to hoist him up, and I think they both fall down. That's ridiculous. This notion of having to pass the torch, are you kidding me? Roman Reigns has been world champ, what, twice? Twice? 3 times now?
3 times, yeah.
3 times. You are not passing the torch to nobody. If this has been a world title match for his first one, that's passing the torch. Him being a 3-time champ, not going to happen. All that match was for was to force Roman Reigns down their throats one more time. I agree with Rob. The Undertaker should have come out and squashed him. Roman Reigns wouldn't have lost anything out of it because it's the Undertaker at WrestleMania. But no, you got to have him beat the Undertaker in what has to be the Undertaker's last match. I think that was the dumbest move of the night. The whole putting that hat and the trench coat out there was even dumber. Wow. I don't agree with any of it, and it's going right on the trash heap. And the final score is like 6-9. WrestleMania loses, in my opinion. Stan.
Oh gosh.
Oh, and
Roman
one more
Reigns.
thing.
Oh, go ahead.
One more thing. I got to go to bed, so I'm out.
Peace out, sir. STRCP21 on Twitter.
Peace.
Aloha.
Later, buddy.
I gotta go. I gotta get up. Y'all have fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, smack out the pee-pee.
He said it 4 times. I gotta go. Okay, bye. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.
Roman Reigns, Undertaker. Okay, I'm a fan of Roman Reigns. It's no secret. I did not like this matchup. It didn't make sense to me. It's not your yard. It's not the Undertaker's yard anymore. It hasn't been his yard since WrestleMania 30 when Brock beat him. That being said, if the intention is to put over your chosen opponent, if that's truly the story, and I don't know if it is, but if that is, all right, fine. Go out on your own terms if that's what you want to do. But if the idea is Vince thinks this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, he's going to beat The Undertaker, which is probably how this went down. I've said for a long time Roman Reigns' best position right now is to be a heel. But this, on Monday, apparently turned him that. But, of course, that's the Raw after Mania. We'll wait till what we see tomorrow night. Taker putting his gear in the ring, to Rob's point, very moving. 1990 Survivor Series was when he debuted, scaring little children, making them cry. 2017 is when he retired, making adults cry because the match-up sucked. Eddie.
I blame basically Reigns for more of the botches than I do Taker, because there were some things that Taker could control, some things he could not. There were a lot more things that Reigns could have controlled and done right. I feel that this match showed how one-dimensional Roman Reigns genuinely is, and he needs a lot more work. This is why he should not have gone over in this match. He should not be a 3-time champion by now. He needs to diversify his portfolio inside the ring. Look, Hogan had the 4 moves of doom. Cena had the 5 moves of doom. Reigns doesn't even have that many right now. I got the Superman punch and I got the fear. And I think I look really good doing it. Look, okay, kids, we're just going to go here. I haven't said this until right now, so Corner to Corner gets the exclusive. For those who genuinely think that a Superman punch is supposed to be a finishing maneuver, quit watching.
But he cocks it. Doesn't that make it like super vicious?
Yeah, he strokes it. He strokes it once.
I mean, come on now. When you have a guy you're trying, like you keep shoving down your throat, but it turns against you on the Raw after Mania, and your guy comes out to do a promo and can only get 2 words out.
Oh no,
or 3 words.
He
it's my yard.
It's my yard now.
Right. They basically the chant was actually going around F you Roman.
No, it was definitely going around.
You know,
yeah.
STFU as well.
They even said it when Vince came out.
Yeah.
I mean, when Vince came out, they were saying "F you, Roman." Today's society, you're not today's fans, today's society. You're not going to get that ignorant fan that's just going to be like, "Oh, wait." They're going to let you know about it.
Okay, here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. And, folks, I want you to listen very closely. If you disagree with what I'm about to say, at Fast Eddie Lane, LAYNE on Twitter, Facebook.
Stan's already tweeting you. It's okay.
Okay. If you want to get your point across, sit on your hands.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to get your point across, shut up.
Right.
Don't whistle, don't scream, don't chant, because here's the fact of the matter. For all of you idiots who keep chanting, CM Punk, you're playing right into their hands.
Yep.
For all of you idiots that, look, the funniest night after Mania was when they were chanting for Michael Cole and JBL and Jerry Lawler. And Randy Orton got so ass backwards butthurt because the fans were doing that. And he went off on Layfield, and Layfield about popped him. Layfield about popped Orton, which would be a fight that I would want to see. But Layfield's back was not 100% at that point during that particular run. When you scream, when you holler, when you whistle, when you chant, any and every, and for every wrestling promoter who listens to this show, I dare you to call me a liar. The worst thing that can happen during a match or a promo is silence.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm lying, if I'm wrong, please, at Fast Eddie Lane on Twitter, I by God dare you. Every time they go to a town and the crowd starts chanting, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks," it's a moral victory for the company because they've given you something that you're going to make an emotional investment in to cheer or boo one way or the other. The only thing that ever makes them panic is apathy. Silence speaks volumes. So for everybody who was chanting asshole or F you Roman or STFU or all the other little things from Monday night, WWE sitting back going, that's another chant, that's another chant, that's another chant. Yep, they're going strong. Keep it coming, kids. Because that's what I'm doing. Go ahead.
At one point, here's the thing about the people we deal with. The industry is, on one side they're saying "F you, Roman, we don't want you," but then his meet and greet and autograph sessions sell out quick as everybody else.
What all's in there? What's in that line? Kids.
It's just
kids and girls.
It's just, I'm so sick of it. And to have somebody, here's my whole thing about it, like the Undertaker Roman. If this was the Undertaker's last match, then it needed to be against somebody that was worthy of the caliber of the Undertaker's last match. This is like putting Ric Flair in the match. All right, Ric Flair, your career's going to end against Mikey Whipwreck
or Hornswoggle.
No. Like Iron Mike Sharp is going to end the career of Hulk Hogan.
That's fine with me.
It just doesn't make sense. And then we're left here with the Undertaker in a poor showing in a match, which we can agree with Brian that, shouldn't have happened at all.
Right.
But then we have a guy like Roman who in every match he gets his ass beat for the entire match. But then he comes and hits the Superman punch, the spear, and hoo-ah, and it's all over.
Hoo-ah.
Yes, he hits his hoo-ha.
It's just stupid.
Yes, we know.
But, oh well.
But to whom it is the most stupid? Males over the age of 18. Same people who have a problem with "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." The ones who will chant Cena sucks the loudest. The kids dig it. Roman Reigns is out there being requested for Make-A-Wish, even though you still only hear primarily about Cena. Lo and behold, Roman Empire merchandise is still selling, the signs are being seen, and you know what means as much to the WWE as a t-shirt being worn in the crowd? A sign that was made. That meant people put effort into it. You know what WWE counts nowadays? Social media impressions. Did you see the story that's been going around about the rest of the Records Mania set?
Yeah, it's a pretty huge amount of records that they set.
Rob, do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've seen the story too?
Yeah.
Okay. See, here's the funny part. Let me find this real quick.
You know what's not funny is my mom's Wi-Fi keeps cutting out.
That sucks.
The problems of the world, like...
First world problems.
WrestleMania 33 was the most social event in WWE history. According to Nielsen Social, 5.19 million interactions on Facebook and Twitter during the broadcast alone. You know what WWE does with that? They get high-dollar advertisers.
Right. Because now they're on their network and they can take a commercial break during a pay-per-view.
And on top of everything else, the fact of the matter stands. And here's your truth, kids. Here's the truth. It doesn't matter if it's hashtag WWE sucks. Doesn't matter if it's hashtag I love WWE, hashtag whatever. They count them all as a plus. All I did was talk bad about them 10 times. Well, guess what? That's 10 mentions they can take to a corporate sponsor saying, people are talking about us. Silence speaks volumes. Reigns is the guy, whether we like it or not. No matter how horrible he is in the ring, how one-dimensional he is in the ring, no matter if he has a personality worse than a pet rock, he is their choice. The only way this changes is if people shut up. Don't cheer, don't boo, don't clap, don't snap your fingers, don't whistle, don't fart. Stop it. Then they'll get the point. Don't mention him on social media. They'll get the point.
Mm-hmm.
So for as many times as everybody, I did my part, I told him he sucked. Oh no, you played right into their hands, ding dong.
Thank you very, very much. You vote with your wallet. You vote by doing the right things. And one of the right things is you keep your mouth shut. I mean, if fans truly don't want him on TV, and hey, I'm a fan of the guy, but I understand the logic because it makes good sense. The guy hasn't done anything truly different since what? His feud with AJ?
Pretty much.
That's a long time ago. When you look at it, his feud with Kevin Owens wasn't very good. His matchup with The Undertaker, we just said, was abysmal. I mean, this guy needs, just as you said, to diversify.
Bray Wyatt.
Maybe a move to SmackDown helps. Maybe it doesn't. I guess we'll see.
Anybody but you, Roman. Bray Wyatt, remember that?
Yes, and it was actually a good feud.
Yeah, for Bray Wyatt.
And yet another opportunity that they had for Bray that should have been bigger. But, you know, that is the way the cookie crumbles.
Speaking of dessert.
Okay.
I want to say thank you to the fine folks at Texas de Brazil here in Birmingham, Alabama. The key lime pie was awesome.
Wow.
It's
cheap look.
Hey, wasn't nothing cheap about that place. Dinner there cost more than my car.
Well, alrighty then.
Hope she was worth it.
Womp, womp, womp.
But I went by myself.
Well.
Which What you do in your own time, sir, is none of my accord.
There
You put out later.
I said. Can you hear me, boy? I said, can you hear me, boy?
It's perfectly legal.
If it's your hand, it's not cheating.
Don't go anywhere, and don't call anybody. And most importantly, don't play with yourself. You wouldn't look nice.
How you doing?
Wouldn't look nice on my highway. You can think about it, but don't do it.
No.
So, definitely tons of stuff coming out of WrestleMania. Monday after Mania was pretty crazy. We got the Superstar Shakeup tomorrow night. Before we head to the, as Eddie puts it, Radio Ranch, prediction for tomorrow night. Just one solid prediction. Eddie, what do you got?
I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm pretty much convinced the New Day will probably jump brands. I think it would be really weird to see Shinsuke jump brands before he even has his first match, even though I think him and Miz would have a good program together. I think the King of Strong Style will kick the living crap out of the Miz and make him actually do some more, actually make him work in a match. I think that there are so many different ways that they can shake it up and spice it up, but here's the sad part about it. The only thing that it's going to benefit is Monday Night Raw, because SmackDown is still kicking the backside of the Red brand.
Rob, solid prediction for tomorrow night.
I think it's solid that you will see. I think you'll see names go from the Raw brand to the SmackDown brand, just because there's so many. There's whole as the SmackDown brand is beating Raw. But there's still holes, if it makes sense.
Can't say it. I just can't say it. I can't say it.
But a definite thing, I think you see. I think you see Kevin Owens jump ship, with or without the title. I could see them say, Kevin Owens, you're going to SmackDown, but you're not taking the title with you, therefore bringing up a tournament to crown it.
Be kind of cool.
A tournament on Fastlane.
Fastlane.
Fastlane. I thought it was Payback coming up.
Or whatever.
They got so many different pay-per-view titles, man.
Oh, Fastlane follows.
They better just go back to In Your House.
Fastlane followed Rumble.
Oh yeah.
They should just do. They should just do like In Your House.
Why don't they do a Saturday night's main event on the WWE Network?
What? Stop it with logic. Stop it.
Why haven't they come up with a network title?
Stop
to be defended only on the network. Why
Nobody's ready for this logic.
Why has 205 Live just not left Raw at all and done its own show so we don't have to see it? One, you don't need to tune into 205 Live because all the matches, the people they're trying to push are on Raw. So if you stop pushing them on Raw, people will have to tune in to see them on 205 Live.
Hey, wait a minute. There's more logic there.
And I predict you see some NXT people come up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with we're gonna see one more call up at least from NXT, and that's gonna be Bobby Roode to Monday Night Raw.
No.
I think it's DIY to SmackDown.
Thank you.
Ooh, that would be so awesome. So awesome.
Only problem with that logic is the fact that the Authors of Pain need a viable team to genuinely challenge them. Who do you put in that position?
Yeah, you really don't have. If we've got the Revival gone, we got Team DIY. That makes sense. Them coming up to SmackDown, Authors of Pain would have.
We could take the Ascension and put them back down there,
please, please.
Or the Vaudevillain.
Well, yeah. I mean, Aiden English is all by himself now. Simon Gotch is.
You notice I said Vaudevillain, not Vaudevillain.
We noticed.
Well done, by the way.
I noticed.
Maybe Ellering still has his mannequin that he can give me. He can be the vaudeventricularins.
The vaudeventriloquist.
you got TM61 that could come up if Shane Thorne if his knee is better, but I think he's still hurt. I don't know, man. It's hard to predict because this is a trade kind of night. I don't believe it's a draft, so we'll see. But gosh, I could see DIY on SmackDown, but that would really, really, really hurt the NXT tag division. Singles division, NXT could bounce back real fast, but who knows? Who knows?
Or does Enzo and Cass go to SmackDown?
That'd be cool.
And you align them with Carmella again and get rid of Ellsworth.
Watch him send Anderson and Gallows over to SmackDown.
I'm just waiting for the angle of, Ellsworth sitting there talking to Carmella, talking about his girlfriend and Carmella, and then, Cass is just standing behind him. Like, what'd you say?
Well, with the red carpet, they had Cass and Carmella there at the Hall of Fame, and they were talking to each other, and they're just sitting there, and I believe it was Renee Young asking where Ellsworth was, and Cass said he better keep his hands to himself, so that could be actually entertaining.
Yeah.
Well then, it has been an exciting night here on Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio, as the Triple Threat had a great conversation.
Radio.
Yes, sir. Great conversation with Mike King from Nova Pro Wrestling. Don't forget to check out novaprowrestling.tumblr.com for the Commonwealth Cup this Friday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And that is at the Jewish Community Center in Fairfax, Virginia, off of Little River Turnpike, 8900 Little River Turnpike, Fairfax, Virginia. Got a lot of great talent that's going to be there. Please make sure you check it out. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell them to tell their friends.
Mm-hmm.
We will be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern. No, wait, that's going to be Easter. Wow. Well, we will put an update on social media if we will not be on schedule, because I know myself, Rob, and Brian probably have some stuff going on for the day, but we'll see how it pans out. So we will keep you updated on
There will
Twitter.
be something on, because if it's not live, it will be Memorex.
That's right. We'll make sure there is something available for your listening enjoyment.
I'll be at Six Flags. Y'all have fun.
Well, alrighty then. We'll take a cue from Eddie. Maybe we'll take the night off.
In other words, it won't be live no matter what on John Ringside Radio. Because Eddie just said, listen, bitches, it ain't happening.
Because I'm staying over, because this coming Saturday night, April the 15th, Peach State Wrestling Alliance. We're back at the VFW Fairgrounds on Bankhead Highway in Carrollton, Georgia. 6 matches already signed and some surprises in store. There's a lot of fallout coming out from last month and a whole lot of time for some people to simmer. And the bad blood doesn't go away overnight. From our friends in the southeastern U.S. this coming Saturday night, April 15th is a Saturday night. Go figure that one out. Get screwed by the IRS on a Saturday night, but you actually get to make up for it by going to a fun show with Peach State Wrestling Alliance. Also, for our friends in the southeastern U.S., Monday, May 1st, mark your calendars for Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. For me, Fast Eddie Lane on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Snapchat. There you go. I don't know what
Well,
Snatch that. Whoa.
Hey, there you go.
Are you on that same thing that, what's her name, Sonny's on?
We're all on Skype right now.
What?
Ooh, that's true.
FastEddieLane.com is my home, and BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net are the homes for the station.
People are getting a better show this way, though, I think, for us.
Yeah, Brian fortunately, Brian didn't shoot video tonight because Brian, I heard, was wearing a thong.
Hey, so what you're telling me is Peach State Wrestling Alliance actually keeps storylines going, and they don't pull a WWE, and then all of a sudden, after a pay-per-view, it's all done.
Right.
Oh, wow. Huh. Who's on?
We know how to write stories down here.
Wow. So your writers don't have ADD?
No.
Cool. But yes, this Friday night, Jewish Community Center of Virginia, Little River Turnpike, go see Nova Pro. It is an up-and-coming wrestling federation that cannot be missed. Just guarantee you're going to see something first. Never happened before in Nova Pro.
Very true. You can catch up with the show at C2C Radio Show on the Twitter.
That's
and
the C. Number 2.
Number 2.
C.
Radio Show on Twitter. Corner to Corner on Instagram. Stan from Krypton on Twitter for myself. Corner to Corner Radio Show on Facebook. Corner to Corner Wrestling.com. Corner to Corner Radio at gmail.com. Rob, where can they catch up with you?
At Rob Hefner on the Facebook. And at Glorious1, the number 1. Rob C2C on the Twitter. And guys, please do hashtag Stan needs a new screen. Hashtag name on Twitter, whatever it is. Shut the up, Stan. Because this whole Stan from Krypton takes up too many goddamn characters.
242-34.
Well,
but we're being played out, so folks, grab your banjos, grab your wife, put your good tooth in. It's time to go.
For Eddie,
I'll just say it like this.
Genetic deficiency.
Almost got the soundbite in the right place. There you go.
For Rob.
Come on, Ma, it's time to go.
I'm saying, Bessie, get the hose. It's time to head out. Y'all have a great
Don't make me get the hose. Put Leela back in her cell.
Bye. See you later. Bye.